Hello, hello, good afternoon, everyone. So, today we are going to work a bit on the inventory system. And let me just check. So, I didn't start the chat. So, if you said something, I didn't see you. Okay, I see it now. Hello, hello. So, yeah, today we are working a bit on the inventory system. And the inventory system is something that we implemented already and is pretty much working, but it has some bugs and some issues that we would like to fix today. In particular, there is this bug that has been reported, which is very important, is a high priority and very critical that I want to fix, and is about inventory lost items. For some reason, it seems that when you are moving items in the inventory, you may lose items. Now, the trick is that you have to move those items in the bottom of the inventory, and then from there you may lose them. So I think it may be a fairly simple to fix, but let's see. Let's see how it goes. So the first thing we need to understand is why when you move items at the bottom of the inventory, another inventory row is showing up, because this part is definitely broken. It should not happen. The inventory should have a fixed size. And by the way, I think we can go in the code and check back. I think we have a number of slots that are predefined. So if I go under PS character inventory, there should be, probably is not defined here, but let me see if I can find it. Max stack count. There should be a max slot. PS character slot none. I think if you go to this one, we will find it. So the slots in the inventory are organized by ID, so very simply, and all the items that are equipable items are from ID 0 to 15, and then the one that are in the bulk are from 16 up. Now I don't remember when is the last number, so this is what we have to investigate a bit. But basically, yeah, I just started Visual Studio, so yeah, here it is. So up to 15, so from 0 to 15 are all the equipable ones, and then from 16, as you can see, is so it's going up to 47. So we have 32, right? 32 slots available. Now I don't remember exactly how the slots, but I think we can open up, let me open up this and we will see it very, very quick. I want to be sure that we have the same setup of the old game. This one was inventory containers. Do we have an inventory or probably not? But anyway, if I open up, then I think I can Google it, whatever. I think I can Google it. Plane shift inventory. Can we get one picture? Come on. Come on. Ah, this one. Yes, I found it. Okay, so yeah, so basically we are having 3, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 slots for 3 rows, but actually this you can scroll down. So it's actually 4 rows. Now I don't know exactly why we want to have this scroll and not just make the inventory one row bigger so that we can see the full 4 rows, that probably will be easier. But anyway, is 32, so 8 by 4. So that's the way it is. Now I need to check if, first of all, in our Unreal Engine we did the same. I'm thinking really if we need to have the scroll bar, because I think that inventory is pretty small window at the end and is a very important window. So unless we add, another set of rows, which we can, so we could go more than 32. We can go 40 or something. But if we just stick to 4 rows, I think we can avoid the scroll bar and just put it in a single window. What do you think? Because the inventory anyway is not changing its size. The inventory system is, at least for now, is not changing its size and is not changing its the way it's managed. So game win inventory, right? What is? No. It's under. This one is a bit weird. It's under tabs, so it's tab inventory. It was created this way because the idea was to have multiple tabs in the inventory window. Then we never did it, and so it remained named under tabs. I think we should probably move it. He's opening it. Yeah, it's taking a bit the first time. Hello, I see more people joining. Welcome to the stream. So, so here we have our inventory scroll box, yes. And inside of it we have a wrap box. Okay, so this one is the thing. Now, when we are receiving the inventory from the server, I think that these slots are getting populated, right? Now, the point is that we need to find the place where when we receive update inventory, I think it's this call. Update inventory should be the one that is setting up all the icons. So let me see. Render an image for character window. Okay. So this we don't need. Check for cached inventory as server if none. So this is checking if you already have a cached version in the on the client, so you can visualize them. Now here we are managing player currency. We are managing player icons. I mean the currency icon. So here we don't care too much. Okay, so here I think is our problem. Okay, so here is probably the bug relies on kind of this thing. So we are basically receiving the inventory from the server, and we need, I mean, I don't know exactly what we are doing here, but let me just check. One slot is, so we are setting, okay, the minus 15 is because yes, we are starting from we're starting from 16. Okay, so n set n min max. What the hell is this? Well, I don't understand what is this part. There are so many numbers. 84. Updating inventory slots. Okay, I think we can get, we can check the in Notepad++, we can check. Just 1 second. We can check in the client, because we started the client, the last time that we were testing the inventory, You see, so this is when we are receiving the inventory. So this is the log, and okay, this number, one slot is, when you see one slot is minus 11, I mean the reason is minus 11 because we are subtracting 15. So actually, I mean the printout is a bit stupid, but so don't consider any number that is below 16. Okay, so all this are it's a bit strange that it's 7 though. 29, 30. No. Wait. There is a problem here. I already see it. Because, yes, the slot goes from 0 to 15 and then 16 to 46, right? Yeah, so no, so it's correct. Wait. So it's correct. So minus 15, the maximum number, 30 makes sense. So 30 is a possible number for sure, right? Because it would be 45, and 45 is still in our range. So actually up to 32, yeah, exactly, 32, there it is, 32, up to 32, all these numbers are valid. So I think the slots here are printed out properly. So one slot is, so here we are basically searching the max, right? When it's complete, now this is probably when the mess happens, because when this is completed, what are we doing? Are taking n, we are dividing it by 8. By the way, I didn't write this code, so that's why I'm looking at it like if it's new for me. Yeah, man, if you come to my channel and spam, that's not very cool, you know. So you're getting blocked and you're getting removed, so easy. Okay, so and I will cut off this section from the video, so you will not have the link in the VOD. Okay, go spam somewhere else. Thank you. So what I was saying is that here, for some reason, we are let me do something so we clean the chat. Okay, so the chat is clean now. There is no more spam in view. So what I was saying is that it seems that n is actually a row, right? Because we are taking n, which hopefully, what is max doing? Returns the maximum value of a and b. So is basically searching the maximum minus 15, so which in our case will be 32. Okay, so I'm expecting the max to be 32, and it's setting it as n. Okay, so when it comes out of this cycle, n should be 32. I don't know exactly why we do it, because we could just, well, let's say it is more dynamic. So if we want to extend it to 40, I mean, this code will work, while if we are code 32, maybe it will not work. So then we take this 32, we divide it by 8, so because we want to see how many rows we want, right? So this, I guess, is the idea, and then we seal it. Well, seal it anyway, divided by 8. will not, yeah, because he wants to have a full row. Okay, I understand that. Then is clamping it between 3 and 10, so he's assuming that we may have from 3 to 10 rows. Okay, and so in this case it will stay as 4 because we have 4 maximum, right? Then he multiplies it by 8 again. I don't know why, but anyway, it goes back to the n. You can just take n and it's easier. But because he clamped it. Okay, yeah, right. If n is like 12, then okay, it's good, it's good. So he multiplies by 8, and then he adds a new row. Yeah, this is the problem. So is adding a new row on top of the max. Yeah. I think that there is a, is a good question. I have to ask to the players, right? Is any player here? Because the question is, do we want to have, one extra slot in the inventory system or not, or two? I don't know. To me, it's the to me, we can clamp it. In this case, it's clamping it to 4. And then the only problem that we have now is that the code is actually allowing, slots up to 47. So at the moment, if we increase the size of the inventory, the code is not going to manage it. And so that's exactly why we are having this bug, the bug that was reported by this guy, because he's saying that you are losing items because, yes, the database is not recognizing that as a valid slot. So so the easiest fix is to have this between 3 and 4, right? And say here current min is 3, current rows minimum 3, maximum 4, right? So that's kind of the logic of this blueprint. Yeah, that's kind of the logic of this blueprint. So if we do this, and if we remove this one, then I have no idea what is this min 84. Why is getting the minimum between 84 and our number? Before it was clamping it to 10, so the maximum would have been 10. 10 by 8 is 80, plus 8 is 88. So I don't know what is this 84. I have no idea what is this 84 really. I think I will remove it. I think there was a logic behind, but I have no idea what is it. So basically that is the logic that divides it by row, takes the maximum and clamp it to this, and then gives back to this number the maximum number of slots you can have in the inventory, and then is telling us updating inventory slots, and is telling us the maximum number. So in the printout, you see we had 40 in this case. We had 40, yeah, which is 32 plus 8. Yeah, so that was the problem, So yeah, so we were going one row above the limit, which should not happen. And then we are creating the inventory slot the first time, right? So I think the rest of the code was pretty much okay. It should be exactly identical. It's just, yeah, I think so. Do we want to test it like this? I think the change was pretty simple. I think it was just to ensure that we didn't have too many. So let me be sure that I have my server, my database started. One day I should upgrade the database because it's pretty old. is a MySQL 5.5. I mean, it does its job, but I guess these days there are better databases. I mean, better versions, newer versions. If you are new to the stream, feel free to interact with the chat. Feel free to ask questions or whatever. I mean, I'm streaming also really with the purpose to interact with you. So you can just say hello or ask some questions as needed. Okay, I'm logging into. Yeah, the server is starting. Give it a second. Now the server is starting up. Now I'm expecting to have exactly 4 rows, right? We could add an additional row without too many problems. I mean, if we want to add an additional row, the thing we need to do, we need to go here in the slots definition, add 8 more, and then we just need to be sure that in the code there is no kind of clamping, of those values. But at the moment, it's not a priority to add a new row. I think we can have it working exactly as it was working before. Okay, the server is up now. Okay, we're connecting now. I can use my character, I think it's okay. Okay, we did it. So we are in. So let me check. This tree is colliding. So if I open up my inventory, I want to see now how many rows I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we already have 4. Okay, so we have 4 rows, which is pretty good. We have 4 rows. So I think that now, you see, the additional row does not exist. And also it's fixed window. So the additional row does not exist. So the problem should not happen anymore, because you cannot move this out of the now if you have an item which is in the wrong position in the database, I mean, we can test it, but in theory it should never happen. I think if I do a search in the production database on there's too many windows open. Let me close everything and open a new one. So I set this one as default, and so if I check the structure of, I would say, item instances, right? And I need the item instances that have no parent item ID. So I would do select max location in parent from item instances where where parent item ID is null, or parent item ID is less than 0, because I think the 0 is valid. Okay. And I don't know if I want also to. Let's see what we get here. 52. 52 is not good, because 52 is above our range. So there are some items in the database, so or they are in containers, but no, because I said where parent item ID is equal to null, or parent item ID is 0. That's interesting. So there is some item let me do where character ID owner is greater than 0, where character ID owner is greater than 0. So what I'm trying to search, oops, sorry, I'm trying to search if the database is consistent with the rule, you know. Yeah, 52. So there is someone in the database, some players who have more than, I think it could be the banking though. Could be the banking. How do I know that? Crafted quality. So we should have somewhere. Where is banking stored? It should be here. Storage. I mean the storage. Interesting. So all the one greater than we said 40. We said 32 plus 8, so it should be 40, no? All the one greater than 40. No, the filter didn't work, I guess. $83? What the hell, 83? Yeah, but it is storage. I'm pretty sure that it is storage. It cannot be anything else. It cannot be anything else. You know that I don't know where we distinguish between the items that are in the storage or the items that are in the inventory. Or is above 47, but I don't know. Storage. Let me just search storage in the code 1 second and see where I end up, because I don't remember. Storage. Yeah, there is actually a flag. There is actually a flag in the item, which is storage inventory. Okay, I think this one is our. Wow, outside is raining like crazy. Remove item in the stack. Remove item index. If storage. I don't remember this. storage inventory. If location PS character slot storage inventory slot PS character slot storage -2. Okay. Okay. So in theory here we have a -2. Okay. So the storage is actually -2. The storage is actually -2. So how can some stuff be like in this case? How can some stuff be in location 83? But it's inside a container. Now my request was to do it. Now let me select the 52. Yeah, because the 83 are in containers. But we saw that the 52, for example, parent item. No, I said where parent item ID is null or parent item ID is less than 0. So this is the and they belong to a character, right? Why comes out as 52? Well, because there are some, like this one. So like this one, but I don't understand, what I will never see this in game. Are these items which are lost in space? But there are so many. There are so many. This could be bugs, you know. This could be items that for some reason have been moved to a slot where they should not belong to. So let me count how many we have in database, because this is a copy of production, okay, fairly recent. So set account where blah 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 and location in parent is greater than 46, right? Because we said that 46 is the maximum, 47 is the maximum allowed, right? So from 1 to 32. So 47, so greater than 46, right? So from 47, no, 47 is still valid, so greater than 47, okay? You mean 5? I'm missing something. What I'm missing, boys? I'm doing something stupid. Tell me what I'm doing stupid. So why this query is returning only 5, which makes sense. This can be bugs, okay? These are only 5 items that fucked up, okay? In the whole database, and it's perfectly fine. But why then if I do this or this, I was finding one which is 52, Parent item ID is null. Character ID owner is greater than 0. And I'm getting an item in that location. So why this one doesn't show up in my previous query? Parent item ID is null, right? Character ID owner is greater than 0, and this is definitely greater than 0. Location in parent is greater than 47, and it is 52. So why this line is not appearing? Well, maybe this line is appearing. Maybe it's one of the 5. Yeah, maybe it's one of the 5. So maybe it's appearing. Let me see. 25008 362. Yeah, probably it's one of the 5. Yes, it's one of the 5. Okay, good. Okay, good. I think so. There are only 5 items in the world database which are fucked up. Now we may go and check what these items are, but I don't think we really care. There are some players, like we can check who is this guy, but there are some items that due to bugs or due to whatever have been moved in an invalid location. Ah, that's me. Okay, so I have 5 items that have been moved in a wrong location. So the majority is me, and then there is another one here, which is this guy. Maybe it's my alt. Maybe it's just an alternate. So maybe it's just some test that I did to develop. No, actually this one is not me. This one is someone else. This one is someone else. Which kind of item is that? Because this guy is an item that is out of the slots, and it's something that he created, something that he crafted. I don't think it's a very important item, hopefully. But for some reason here, the database fucked up, and let me see what it is. It is a 4008 item. So if I take item instances, no, item stats, and I check the ID equal to this, yeah, it's just a steel thing, so it's no problem. It's just a crafting of molten steel, so it's not a a costly, pricey item. So the fact that he lost it is fine. We could even delete it from the database at this point. I think it would be cleaner, to just clean this ID. Yeah, I could even clean it in production. Maybe let me take a note so I do it later on, but it's something that we may want to do. I think I can put it here. So I think we should delete from prod this item instance ID blah blah blah, which has invalid slot. Okay. Yeah, and it's only molten steel something, so molten steel items. I think it's okay. Steel item. Okay, this I can do it later on. It's no problem now. But it's good. So it means that in the database, apart from some buggy items that are only 5 out of I don't know how many, but I tell you. So you want to know how many items we have in the database? I can tell you. So if we do select count from item instances, we have 1,802,000. So these are items that are either being generated or created by players or crafted. So we have 1.8 million items in the database, which is good, I think. It shows that game is moving or was moving. So I think that this query is okay. So we tested that this worked with 4 rows, and we tested that you cannot mess up by moving items in another slot. Okay. Another thing I wanted to say is containers, but I think that containers, like, do we do the same mistake in containers or not? Like, what is the maximum number of slots of a container? For example, here is saying that he has 20 capacity, 22 out of 20. Okay, so this container is over capacity for some reason. In terms of slots, we have 24. We have 24 slots. If I take another container, do I have another container? Yes, I have this one. Yeah, this one definitely has more space. There are way more slots. Now, I don't know exactly. I think the slot number is decided in the database again and is inside max. There is a parameter here which is container max size. Yes, exactly. This one. Container max slot. Yes. I think we can check the maximum number here. So we can check select max container max slot from item stats. I think that's it. 84. Wow. There is a container that has 84 slots. I remember that 84. You remember that we had this 84 in the formula here? Let me see which kind of container is that. 84 is a lot. Book container, wooden crate, 2-door closet, large crate. Okay. Well, I think we don't have a problem with that. So, hello Tony, welcome. I think we don't have a problem with that. I think we can stick to the maximum of 84 slots for a container. Now, it would be nice to normalize a bit these numbers. I don't know if these numbers are really good. Like if I do a select name and container max slots from item stats, and then I do a group by container max slots. I should no, I want it to be, I don't know what happens like this, but it's not what I wanted, because this is getting only the first entry, right? Because it's grouping them by that. Yeah, but anyway, these are the sizes of containers that we have in the game. Some have 30, some have 32, some have 36. So it's quite a mess, I have to say. But it's okay. I mean, I think it's variety. Variety is never bad, but considering that we are going 4x4, are all of those multiplier of 4? No, for example, there is a 6. Many are, but some are not. Like this cloth sack is a 30. So what happens if I open up? Let's get this gift box purple. Okay, which I have no idea what is. Is this a standard item? It doesn't look like a standard item, but let's take this cloth sack maybe. Cloth sack. So if I spawn that into my inventory, okay, I did it. Is this thing? If I look at it, I should have 30 slots. I have many more. Why? You know, because this can be another mistake. I mean, if this thing is supposed to have 30 slots, but in reality, here we have so many. But why sometimes it shows I mean, he always shows the maximum. I mean, now it's always showing the maximum. I think there is a mess here, boys. I think there is a mess. There is some bug here. Because it should not... Okay, so let's check if the information is properly flowing through the code, okay? So these max container slots, when we send the container details, should be used, right? So I think we have a function that is called hello Agatir. Again, Angatir. Yeah. I think we have a send container something, if I remember right. Send container details or something like that. Yeah, send container contents, this function here. Okay. So this one, when we are sending a container to the client, we should consider the maximum number of slots, right? Get contained size, get container max size, exactly. So this one, capacity, get container max size 2, what it means 2. I think get container max size is not get container max slots. I think it's a different thingy. Yes, most likely yes. Yes. Here it is. So we are sending the get container max slots to the client, and that is receive item container. Okay, so let's go and check in our code. If I search receive item container, whatever, this thing. Okay. It's here. So it's here, it's going here, it's going here, it's going here. It's also printing out something. We are printing the item name, and we are printing, I don't know why, the container detail. Okay, that's fine. And then we do this set container content. And this max container slots is here. Okay, so I want to see if this is actually used, because to me seems that it's not used properly. Set container content. So yes, max container slots is actually used. Slotting container starting from 0. Okay, fine. -1. Loop body. Create a bulk inventory slot. If already filled, then just clear the content. Okay, so what happens? Okay, I think I understand what is happening. What is happening is that the first one that I open has the right number of slots, but then the second one, if he has a higher number, is filling up all the additional slots, and then yeah, there is a bug. There is a bug. So, like if I move now an item here, I will lose it. It will never show up again because this. So look at the glyph sack now. Okay, this is the glyph sack. Look at how many slots he has. Right. In reality, if I restart the game, the glyph sack has way less slots. The problem is recreating every time, but I think we don't have another solution, right? Well, we could keep the 32 and just do the from 32 up. Maybe we can do that. Oh my god! Let me see if I can have you hear the noise of the rain. It's insane. It's like it's nice too far away. Wait a second. Where is this thing going? Where is this cable going? This cable is going down there. No, it will not be very easy. Will not be very easy. But this is going. It's going all around. Oh my. Yeah, my headset, I guess it's sometime I don't move the cable, and so it's below hundreds of other cables on my table. I think I did it. What's this? There is the mouse. Well, the mouse we can unplug for 1 second. I'm making a mess, huh? I know already. I'm trying to move the cable out of this mess. Okay, I think I did it. And then there is also under the table there is. Where this is going? It's incredible. It's going places. It's going below this, but this one we can unplug. So I think I can fix it this way. I did it! Okay, so now we can go. So, I don't know if you can hear the noise of the rain, but can you hear that? It's insane. I think it's even ice snowing. I think it's even ice snowing. I heard some blips and blops. You know, blips and blobs? Okay, so I'm back. Super noisy. Yeah, it's like being under the shower. I mean, if you go out, I think in 1 second you will be wet completely. Like under the shower, the same. Okay. So what we were doing, yes, we were reconnecting here, and we are reconnecting here, and I wanted to show you that when I open the glyph sack, right, the first time, No, it's the same. Then it's not working at all. I was thinking that the first time the number would be correct. I mean, the glyph sack. Yeah, but wait a second. Let me check the glyph sack. How much? Because the glyph sack is 64. I fucked up the demo. That was not the right demo. The right demo is to open one which is small enough, like a wooden bowl, right? And this should be only 4 slots, so it should only have 1 row. Okay, we can check if that's the case. I should record this rain sound and put it in plane shift. Okay, so if I go here and I load in, and I think if I spawn this wooden bowl, I think would be the best. So I do item wooden bowl. Okay, see, so if I open it, yes, you see, this one only has 4 slots. Now, if I close it and I open the glyph sack, which has 64, the window is setting up for 64 slots. But then if I open again the wooden bowl, holy shit, and by the way, it's cleaning only the first row, so, okay. So that's definitely a big bug, okay, so that's a big bug. So here we see items that actually do not exist, because these are part of, because when we open this, it's just cleaning up to the number of the wooden bowl, which is 4. All the rest is leaving it as it was. And so now I could, in theory, take this, move it here, but this will not work, I guess. Ah, he became the glyph sack. Yeah. So I had the wooden bowl open, but actually he transformed himself into a glyph sack because these are in the glyph sack. Yes. So anyway, this should never happen. There is a big bug. It should never happen. So we should remove this bug right now because it's messing up everything in the inventory. So how do we do it? I think unfortunately we need to recreate all the time all the slots. You know, because we had this idea. But it's a very bad idea because it works only on the same container. So if you're always opening the same container, okay, you can, clear the content, but the number of slots anyway are, or we delete, what we can do, or we delete, we could keep this and just delete the extra ones. I don't know which one is faster actually, but so let me see what this thing is doing. Okay, so we receive the content. Okay, we understand the max size. Okay, here we are coming into a loop where we know, for example, that this thing is 4 slots. We are checking if the children count is less or equal than that. So basically here we are checking if it needs more space. If it needs more space, it's creating more slots. But unfortunately, this is not enough. Because we need to say that if the slots are more than the one that we expect, you should delete all the extra ones, right? So let's say ensure extra slots get removed. So we need to do it. Where do we do it? We do it here. We do it. No, we do it here and in the completed, right? So in the completed, I think we check if the current children count is greater than what? Is greater than the max container slots. The current children, the get children count is greater than this. Without a -1, because we need the real number here. It's not the index, it's the real number. So if I have 5 slots and my wooden bowl is only 4, right? Then I need to delete the 5th one, so I need to delete the extra. And so this one should go here, and this one should go, I mean both should go here, but in reality, if it's true, right? If it's true, that is greater, then we need to enter into a for loop, and in this for loop we take the wrap box children, which I hope I can get. We do it in what do we do it? Children. So get all children. It is returning an array with all the children. I need more space. I need more space. Okay. We have more space. Nice. So I need to get all the children of that guy, but I need to start from, no, can I do a for each? Can I do a for loop without I want a for loop, right? But I want a for loop without, yeah, exactly like this. So we will start from, yeah, so I can avoid cycling on all the items because it's not a good idea. So get children, no, I can just do remove. Is remove children available? Well, actually there is remove item. Remove child at, yes. Remove child at. The problem is that as soon as I remove one item, I guess they will all scale back by 1, right? So I cannot, so the index will always be, max slot plus 1, max slot plus 1, right? Careful though, because this is 0 based, I guess. Yes, this index is 0 based. So if I have to remove the 5th, actually I need to put here the 4th, so -1. So I need to get this thing and put it here, right? I need to get this thing and put it here. And the index will always stay the same. And I will loop on, I will loop starting from I will loop starting from my children count. Wait, so no, wait, I'm doing a mess. The fourth, no, not -1, because I have to start from the fifth. I have to start from the fifth. Right? So if wait a second. So if the max container slot is 4, okay, and this is greater with a -1, means that I have to start from index number 4, which is actually the fifth element, okay, which is actually the fifth element, okay, and I have to delete the fifth element. I have to delete the fifth element how many times? Well, I think here I can do something different. Here I can go from 0 to, or from 1 to the difference between the current children count, right, minus the total number of slots. So if I do this, that is a bit of a mess, huh? Minus the total number of slots, right? So let's assume it's 5, right? So it's coming out of 5. Say, oh, you have 5 children. You want to go only up to 4. 5 minus 4 is 1, and so it will go from 1 to 1. So it will remove one element. So in which element will remove? The fifth one. So let's do another example. We have still the wooden bowl, but the previous one was 10 items. So we have 10 minus 4, which is 6, right? So it will go from index 1 to index 6. So it will do 6 times, and it will start from index 4, which is on 0 based, is the fifth element. So it will delete 6 times. It will delete that is a bug. It will delete 6 times. Yeah, 10 minus 4 is 6. It's not 5. So it's 6. So it will remove 6 times the element number 4. I think it's okay. It should be fine. So it's doing this. This graph is a mess. Can I simplify it somehow? I think we can split it to explain it a bit. Let me do something like, we take this wall part. We take this wall part and we split it as a separate thing, and we name it, okay? And we name it. So this thing is if the container has extra slots from previous window, from previous container sides, remove the extra slots. Okay. So I think I don't like this too much, so maybe I'm gonna just replicate this. Yeah, I'm gonna replicate it because I don't like the fact that it goes across so much. So it's very hard to read actually. It's very, very hard to read. So we'll put it here. So here we have our children count, which is exactly the same as this and the same as this. So I will connect it like this and like this. So it's the same result, but we don't go across, right? Which is a bit cleaner, I guess. And sorry, this one is obviously wrong. So this one should go here, but this one should go. No, wait. What is this? No, we don't need this anymore. So this is only. Yeah, for loop, and then when completed, it goes here. Okay, let me review it briefly because I want to be sure it's okay. So we are updating the container. We get a number 4. Okay, we do -1, so we go to 3, and we loop between 0 and 3, so which is 4 elements, and we are creating the slots if we don't have them yet. Assume that we have them already, so we will verify that is less than, so this will be false. So we will go here and it will just update all the slots perfectly. Then when it's completed, it will go here and will say, oh, you know what, you have more items than you need, so the children count will be 10. You say, is it greater than 4? Yes, it's greater. So I take 10 minus 4. Yes, 10 minus 4, which is 6. And I go from 1 to 6. So I do 6 times this loop. And I do 6 times this loop. And I remove the element number 5. I mean number 4 in the 0-based index. I think it should be fine. Then after this, what I do, okay, I print out temporary. I print out some stuff just to see that my container is in good shape, and then I fill the container slot. Didn't I do it here already? Update. I'm gonna move this because now we split it into this one. Okay. Update. So these are empty. No, because these are empty. So it is creating the empty slot. Right? Yes, it is creating the empty slot, and it is filling out. And it is filling out the content. Okay. I don't know why all these graphs are like slightly off, but fine. Good. I think it might be okay. I mean, I don't know, but we can test it and see if I need to close everything, and I need to compile and save and check out. Okay. And server and client. Okay. So what I'm expecting now is that if I open a wooden bowl, we will be only 4 slots. Then if I open a glyph sack, it will be 64 or whatever they are. And then if I open again the wooden bowl, then it will not mess up, but it will delete the extra slots and update only those ones. Right? I think this is the best that we can do. So if you are opening the same one multiple times, is fairly quick because it's not recreating all the slots. If you are continuously opening different size containers, so 464, 484, this is where the engine will have to create and destroy continuously those slots, but I would say it's fine. Okay, so we open the small one, the wooden bowl. We see 4 slots. By the way, let me put something into it. Dots and close till rings. Perfect. So I close it, I open it again, and I see my item. Okay. Now I open the weapons, for example, which is way bigger. I see these 3 things. It's only big as this. It's 24. It's 24. What is this thing? Is a sack that has been removed. It has been renamed. 24. That could be. Okay, could be that is 24. Huh? Is 24 this guy? Because you see, before we were seeing down here, we were seeing something, and now we don't see it anymore. So probably it was already the mistake. Okay, now I close it and I open my wooden bowl again. Fuck, didn't work. Because you see that here I don't have 4, I have by the way, why it became this kind of weird? No, it's not working, boys. It's definitely not working. Why was 5 slots? At a certain point it was 5 slots. Because when I opened the I opened the weapons and then I opened the wooden bowl. I don't know, it seemed to me that there were 5, no? But anyway, this thing is not working. Actually, it's removing. You see what happens? I reopen it and he's removing stuff every time I open it. Now it's 5. Now it's 4. Now it's 4. So he removes stuff until he reaches the right number. Okay, so our logic here has some bugs. Okay, so let me see. So I think we need to print out. So this thing is not working. Wrap box 0. Children count. Wrap box 0 children count. Greater than whatever is coming from the max slots. If it's greater, true. I want to loop like 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4, which is 6. And for each one, I want to remove the child at position. You know, I don't know if this remove child at is actually doing the job in time, like I'm resizing. I mean, I'm removing at a certain location. I think it's failing to remove a few. But so my idea was that I have my array, I have my widget, you know, which is like 4 items and I have to delete. And so what I'm saying delete this one. So in the next iteration, he properly deleted this one, and there are only 3 left. But three left. But the index, I mean, they are shifting up, right? My idea was that they are shifting up. So I was then deleting this one, right? And then they become 2. And then I delete the last one. So that was the idea, but it seems it's not working. And so so if I want to delete 3 of them, like in this case, this is what I'm doing: deleting this, deleting this, deleting this. Now I can start from the last and go back. This is probably a better idea, so we don't mess up with the reordering of the items. Yeah, that's probably a better idea, because I think the reordering of the items is messing up here somehow. So maybe the deletion happens before the reordering or something. I mean, it should never happen, but I have the feeling that so let me do the opposite. Let me do starting from the last index. So starting from the children count -1, starting from the children count -1, okay, which is the last element in a zero-based indexing. Going to this guy, excluded though. So going to the max count, right? The max count I don't want to delete. Yes, the 4th I don't want to delete. So it's basically this. So this will mean in the case of 10 and 4, they will say go from index 9, which is actually the 10th element, to index 4 included, which is actually the 5th element, and delete. In this case we need to do this then, and delete that index. Okay, so it will delete the 10th, the 9th, the 8th, the 7th, the 6th, and so on, the 5th, and it will stop there. And yeah, I think maybe it was messing up on the ordering, so let's see if now is any better. Because maybe cycling on removal of items from the bottom to the top was probably messing up. Do we want to put any printouts here? Yeah, I think we can put a print like deleted element at, deleted. I think it now should be fine, but deleted element at, and then we want to have the index, right? So every time we delete one slot, we will note it. We will print it out. But it was a good bug to catch. I think no one catched it, but is a good bug to catch. Hey, I see more people joined. Hello. Welcome. Server is starting up. Okay. So now we also have the print, so we can see in the terminal if things are working as expected. So when I open the wooden bowl the first time, it will be 4 slots, no problem. And we are not going to delete any element, so we don't see here any deletion. Now, if I open my weapons, and then I open my bowl, that is where I want to see 4 slots. Okay, it's not working. Fuck it. Why is it not working? It's not even deleting 1. It's not even deleting 1. Yeah, it's not even deleting 1. Why? Okay. I guess we need to understand better why here. There is some flaw in this logic. I mean, it's sure that I go here because this completed is connected, so it's sure that I go in this branch. So this greater than is not working. I mean, it's always saying false because we have content received items. Max, I'm connecting max container slot, yeah. Or this variable is not giving us the proper number, or maybe it's not giving me the proper number. Huh? We can check here why. So we can say max slots. No, let's say current slots, and we connect this value, and then we say max slots, and we connect this value, right? Which are the two variables that we are. Then we will remove this, okay? But it's just a temporary printout. So just to see why we are getting a wrong value, I think or the server is not sending us the proper size, and so the size is like always 0 or something, or always 64, or because it's not publishing, it's not even entering in the delete loop. What did I do? I opened another. Why? I opened another editor. To open client. If you are new to the stream, if you can click the follow button, that will help me on Twitch, and the subscribe button on YouTube. That would be very nice. So the next time I'm online, you will see it, and also will be easier for me to get more viewers, because the more we are, the more we get views. And if you have any questions, please ask. Okay, so that was it. So now we will see exactly the size of the container that is getting passed in. I was assuming that was okay, but potentially it's not. So okay, so current slot 4, max slot 4. Okay, so this thing for the wooden bowl is working okay. Now I open the weapons, and the weapon is saying current slot 24, max slot 24. Okay, now I open back the wooden bowl, and this is where I'm expecting the difference, right? Exactly. So current slot 24, max slot 4, right? So here is detecting the fact that we have more slots than we actually need. Current slot 24, max slot 4. So how it can affect? Did I put the two parameters the inverted or something? Current slot 24, max slot 4. Right? So I'm saying if 24 is greater than 4, right? If 24 is greater than 4, enter here, right? Right. And I'm saying loop starting from item 23, which is the first index, to item. Can the for loop go backward? Because maybe that's the issue. Maybe the for loop is not going backward, it's going only forward. But I need a for loop that decrements. Reverse for each loop. Fuck it. No, I need a for. That's the problem. The problem is that the for loop only goes forward, so it never enters there. I don't need a reverse for each. I need a reverse for loop. That's very annoying. I mean, I can just wait. I can just change the index. It's the simplest. I mean, it can count forward, but then when I get the index, I can count the opposite way, right? So instead of doing, okay, so I think I can have him count forward, so from here to here. So I have him count from 4 to 24, but actually is executing the index the opposite way, which will be what? Which will be so if I have to reverse it, what I need to do, I need so instead of 4, I want 24. So I need to do what? I need to do 20. So I need to reverse it. How do I reverse a number? I mean, in a sequence. How do I reverse the sequence? I need to do, because if I do 24, I need, no, it's easier if I do, okay, it's easier if I do starting from 1 with a minus like it was before, right? I think it's simpler. So I do the math before, bit of the math before. So I do 24 minus 4 equal 20, and then I ask him to go from 0, no, from 1 to 20, and so it counts forward. So the loop, I think it will work, right? From 1 to 20, and then here I take the total, which is 24. So I take this one and I remove the index, right? And this will be, so when I'm at 1, it will do 24. No, I have to start from 0 if I want to start from the actual total. Children count minus 1. No, I think it's good because it's 0 based. Yes. So this will be the element 23 and counting down, right? Every loop it will do 23 minus 1, sorry, 24 minus 1, 24 minus 2, 24 minus 3, 24 minus 4. So, and it will go up to up to 20. Okay. I think that is probably better. Yeah, the problem is that the for loop cannot count down. It can only count up. So in our case, it is messing up our logic. So this is why we had to revert it. Right? Yeah, it's always a bit of a thinking process, but I'm expecting that now this thing is gonna loop. So we're gonna see delete element at, and we are gonna see less items in the window. Now I don't know if I'm checking the limit cases, like when is exactly the same value. No, but this is greater than. So exactly the same value will do nothing, which is okay. If it's only one element, it will do from 1 to 1, and it will delete the last. Now I think it should work, but you know, I said that already a few times. So. Okay. So, we open the wooden bowl, 4. We open the weapons, 24. We open the wooden bowl again. Fuck. Well, it reduced it, but it didn't reduce it as much as I wanted. Okay, but it reduced it anyway. So, it passed through the for loop for sure. Yes. So, 24. How can it go only for 10? Deleted element at. Yeah, okay. Here I mean the printout is not correct because the printer should actually taken this instead of this. But anyway, you start from 1 and it does 10. But how is possible that 24 minus 4? Wait, because I'm calculating this every time. No. I have to do this calculation. Yeah. My get children count should be done once and forever. Otherwise, yes. Otherwise, because this number will change, you know, as soon as I go down, it will change. So I think I need a temporary variable to be set. Otherwise, it is redoing the calculation every time. Yeah, I need a temporary variable. So I need a temporary, so this will be temp slots to remove, right? This will be an integer value, and I have to be sure that I'm setting it here. So this will be set before the branch, after the branch, and this will be set to this value, okay? And this value will will stand still and will not move. While here we were continuously recalculating it, so it was going down. Now, after having said that, we start the for loop, and now we don't take this anymore because otherwise, again, we are recalculating it. But I'm taking this one, which then is fixed, you know, and let me try just to move this a bit because it's a mess. Okay, like this is a bit better. And okay, so now we have a fixed value which is 14, so which is 20. In fact, he actually did 10, which is exactly half of it, because he was all the time he was removing one extra item. So which is 20. So we set it in a temporary variable. We set it here. The for loop is then going from 1 to 20, and here there may be the mistake again. And I should do, yes, exactly. I should do again temp slots to remove, which is a fixed number, minus, right, minus the index, right, and then removing that index. Yes, I think that potentially that is the way. It seems simple, but at the end, you know, the logic is not so easy to get right. At least not at the first run. You know, you need a bit of trial and error to. At least I need a bit of trial and error. On these things. So we need to wait the server to finish. Okay, it's up. Okay, now this guy 4 items. This guy 24 items. This guy again 4 items, good. The problem is that we don't have the item inside. Why we don't have the item inside? No, wait. There is something. Deleted element. So from 1 to y starting at 19. Y goes 19 to 0 instead of going 24 to 4. Temp slot to remove. So I'm setting the 20. So 24 minus 4, which is 20. Fuck. Yeah, but this one. Okay, so I need two variables because also this one is changing. No, it's correct. I go from 1 to 20. And then I get the max count and I count down. So why this is an issue? So I want to do this thing 20 times. And it is exactly going from 1 to 20. The only problem is that I want to start from the current Isn't there a remove last element and that's simpler? Remove. No, there is no remove. Well, but I can do remove child at, I can do remove child at, and I can take the current sites. I can take the get children count, whatever it is, and this will be the last in the list, I guess. Come on. So here I'm removing always the last one. Now I don't know if I do it like this, if he's storing this or if he's recalculating it every time. I think he's recalculating it every time. So every time he does a remove at, he's calling get children count, right? Because it's not stored in a variable. Yeah. So every time he's getting it again. So this will go from 20, 19, exactly. So this is just counting, it is just counting, which is perfect. But I think I don't even need to count at this point, because I'm just getting always the last element, assuming the last element is correct, because that's the assumption that we are making. So if the array is updated the real time at every loop, which I think it should, the last element is always the right one, and we just ensure that we are rotating, we are looping 20 times. I don't know why this thing is hard for me, but it is. I don't know why. Boys, tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why. Why so hard? I mean, it is easy, but somehow for me it's hard. No, it should be fine. Add 4 at the end. No, I think it should be fine. We always remove the last one, right? If we always remove the last one in the array, assuming the array goes actually down, I think it should be fine. Yes, or I could have added 4, like you say, to my 20, and it would have started from 24, yes. Now the fact that we have seen no items is because it was cutting off the good slots. So the good slots were getting cut off. The right slots were getting cut off. You like mine better, yeah. So we don't add and remove and multiply and divide. Are the current count with -1? I don't know. We will see it now. Hello, Gian. How are you? Okay, so whatever. So we open the small one. Boom, 4 with the item. Nice. You know what? I will put it at position 2 just for fun. I open the weapons. Doom. I have it. Now I open back this one. Fuck. I have the item, but it didn't delete the stuff. Why? Okay. Let me see. Deleted element at 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. These blueprints are stupid anyway. Okay, why this value is not getting recalculated? I think we have an issue here because I think we have a kind of a synchronization issue. It's the same problem we had when we were counting up. You know, now we are counting down, but when we were counting up, it was doing exactly the same. So this get children count is not getting updated here, you know, with the new number of children. Right? It's not getting updated. In fact, we are printing this, and after the remove, you know, the print is 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. I mean, what the hell? Maybe because we did a -1, and it cannot really remove it. Yes. 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 Yes, because the element 24 doesn't exist. The element 24 does not exist, my friend. Does not exist. So we need to delete element 23 because we are 0 based, right? In fact, probably this one is returning false. We have to delete 23. Going down. I mean, it's staying at 24 because it's not deleting anything, I think. But I hope that now with a -1 is actually deleting something, and I'm expecting that number to go down properly. I'm expecting the number to go down properly. Now, another approach would have been to have like 3 or 4 windows already set up with the proper number of slots, assuming that we get a predefined number of slots. But unfortunately, in our database, we have so many numbers, as you have seen. So we have containers with 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, up to 84 slots. So now the issue will be when you are continuously opening 84.4, 84.4, 84.4, the UI will be creating and deleting, creating and deleting, creating and deleting 80 slots, you know, every time you open and close. But I don't know, the other approach would be to set up, you know, windows already with these numbers and then switch between the windows. But hard coding that I don't really like. But it's like performance versus development time or something. Okay. Ah, we have it. We had to change it 20 times, but at the end, we have it. Okay, so if I open up this one, which is pretty big, it's actually empty. Let me put something in the middle. Why didn't go here? This is a problem. This thing is too big or what? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the hell happened? Uh-oh. The second row. Ah, okay. I think I know the problem. Strange though. But it seems that the slots that we are creating the second time do not have the proper container ID. Oh, that's a problem. Move the item from slot 1, container 24. Container 24. Well, it's very unlikely that the container is 24. To slot 5, container 24. Okay, is it really container 24? I mean, our containers number should be very big numbers, but container 24. What is this container 24? Doesn't exist, that is container 24. I mean, if I move stuff... Wait. That is the client, right? If I move stuff in the first row, it seems to work okay. And he's saying, why is sending me back the whole inventory? By the way, I have no idea. But fuck, he's scrolling. Where is Notepad? Moved item from slot 0 container 24 to slot 1 container 24. Okay, evidently is it really container 24? I don't know. Seems to be a very low number, but okay. So here it seems to move, but when I move it one slot down, so the first row seems to be fine. the second row disappears. In the second, it was working okay before. What happened? So move the item from slot 2 to slot 6. Yes, exactly. So what is your problem? Weapons, yes. Yes. Content received. So he's basically doing the move and then he's sending me back, an updated view of the container. So I'm getting an updated view of the container. So he's sending me again the weapons container with 24 slots. I receive 4 items that are inside the container. One item is in slot 5. One item is in slot 2, one item is in slot 1, one is in slot 6. So yes, I mean the printout is perfect. The problem is that I don't see it. I don't see it here. I mean I don't see it in the client. The item seems to be disappeared. Now I don't know if I open it again, maybe it would appear, but no. What is going on? Is that these slots are not corresponding to, but when I am creating the slot, I'm definitely setting the number. Now when I'm deleting, I don't know if the deletion is doing a mess. Like the deletion is, no, but it should not, because the slots are getting recreated here, like if they are created from scratch. So when they are created like they are created the first time. So they have the slot set and their container ID set. So it should be fine. I don't understand if it's a visualization problem or if it's really a database problem. I hope it's a visualization one. Let me just restart the client and open up the weapons from scratch, But it seems we messed up something because that was working okay. I mean, for sure you were not losing weapons. I mean, you were not losing items when moving in a container. Containers were working. So let me open weapons. Yes. I think it's a visualization issue. You see? So the first time it works, then when I open another container and we do our deletion of slots and all of that, it gets fucked up. Maybe updated the remove slots. Yeah, I don't know, because the sequence is create the slots, the minimum slot required, okay, which is this block. Then the next block is if you have extra slots, remove the extra slots, right? Then the next step is populate the slots, right? Now, there are some variables that are coming from up here, but it's just the container ID and the content. So yeah, but it seems pretty evident to me that when I open the wooden bowl, then the second row was not working anymore. Like if it was invalidated somehow by the recreation, right? if it was invalidated by the recreation, but you know, when I recreate the slot, do I do something different when I create it at the beginning and when I recreate after the deletion? I don't think so, because it's the same piece in theory, right? But because the good news is that the items are not lost, right? Because as we can see, the items were here. Now I want to see what happens if I open a big one. Okay, so this is weapons. I open the glyph. The glyph has many lines. I reopen the weapons. I try to move this below, and it works. Okay. If I open the wooden bowl, which is actually doing the deletion, so now it deleted all the slots. When I open again the weapons, you see, the additional ones are not getting populated. So yeah, is when it's creating them the second time. But I have no idea. First slot, I'm printing out the names of the slot. Okay, this slot, container 24 slot 0, container 24 slot 23. What the fuck? Why this one is named 23? 4, 5, 6. No. This is named 0, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So these ones are named correctly, but this one is named 23. What the fuck? Why this lot is named 23? Slot 23. This one is lot 23. And this one is lot 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now they are all correct apart from this one. This one, unless I'm not reading it right, but it's saying 23. Slot 23. What the fuck, slot 23? Why the fourth one should be 23? Yeah, so the deletion mess up something. That's for sure. That's a given now. So when we delete and recreate, so the first time I open it is, so let me try another thing without deleting, just adding. Okay, so I open the first one that I opened the small one, and the second one I opened the bigger one, and I want to see if the additional slots are working. Probably the answer is no. If the answer is no, I think I understand what is going on. Okay. If the answer is yes, I'm very confused. But let's see. So if I open the small one first, I have my 4 items. Let me just check this one. This one is slot 3. Okay, so the slot numbers are correct at the moment. Then I open a bigger one, and so it needs to expand the set. This one becomes slot 23. I don't get what the hell, why this is slot 23. Eight, 9, 10, 11. Now if I move it here, no, it works. But if I move it here, I don't know what happens, because this is slot 23, makes no sense. Okay, put it anyway. I mean, how it can be slot... Now is slot 3 again. You see, slot 3 now is a slot 3 again. So it was a slot 23. Something weird is happening here. But anyway, it seems to work fine. Until the last element. The problem is when I do the deletion. So now I close this, I open the smaller one. So those slots has been deleted. This is slot 3, 2, and 0. Now I open again my weapons, and I don't see anymore the items here. Even if this one is named slot 5, this is named slot 6, 7, 4, and this one for whatever reason is 23. I don't know why. I don't know why that one is 23. I don't get it. Like I deleted them wrongly. So I didn't delete the last one with the -1 for some reason. So 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So the last one, what is it? The last one is 19. It's impossible that is 19. Zero. The last one is 23. How can this one be 23 as well? So this one is 23, this one is 23. What the fuck? Now I moved it there and it disappeared. And it became slot 3. I don't know. This is something very tricky and insane here. I don't know. There is something weird going on. Yeah, I can show you the code, but it's very strange. I think that the mistake happens only when we delete, right? Because we have seen that adding new, so this part, which is adding new, seems to work fine, right? Now, when we are reducing, is executing this piece. Maybe this variable is not getting initialized properly in the second cycle. Because we are printing out here, you know, how many elements we need to delete and such. So I can check in the log, because we are printing everything. So I can check in the log what we delete. But the 23 for sure is weird, huh? The 23 thing. But again, here I delete 20 times. Now, if it's 24 minus 4 is 20. So I run this loop 20 times, from 1 to 20. From 1 to 20. and I remove starting from the last element 20 times. I mean, or this for loop is messing up. I don't know. Is messing up with the slots. Like the slots are not getting updated properly in the grid, so the grid is moving the items, not in the right sequence. I don't know, because it's very weird. So it's like the removal. I mean, I can delete it completely and recreate it. So I can remove all the items and then add all the items back, but I don't know why it should not work by removing the child at the proper index. Deleted element tag. Let me check. The problem seems to be in the deletion. So if I go at the beginning, and it's a bit of a mess now. Let me. It's only a matter of visualization, because the code, I mean, the server side, the database is fine. It's only a matter of that the slots are not visualized properly. So what is the minimum? What is the shortest use case to prove the bug? The shortest use case is to open a large one, then to open a small one, and then to reopen a large one. So that's the sequence, right? Because we have seen that if we have the small and then we open the big, it works, right? There is some stupid bug there. So if I open the small, I have my 4 slots, and all the slots are named properly, and I can move this thing between slots, right? And it works as expected. Now if after this I open a larger one, right? Let me see if the slots are named. Okay, so slot 0, slot 1, slot 23. Why this is slot 23? So I think there is already a mistake in the creation, because this slot should not be 23. There is already a mistake here. When I expand the slots, there is already a mistake. So let me see. I have printed basically everything, so it should be easy for us. By the way, there are a number of errors here. There are a number of errors, so something is going on here. Is before, so is between the recept. So what I did here, I just opened. Yeah, this is the beginning. So apart from this, which is not, but there is the right mouse button on the wooden ball. So I'm opening the wooden ball, and here I'm already getting some weird stuff. Why? Receive item detail container on client, yes, which is the function that I'm looking at. Player controller set container content. Access a known, try to read property, dynamic cast as WD slot. Oh my god, I have an idea. Wait a second. wrap box. Does this wrap box have any other children? No. No, the wrap box doesn't have any other children, so in theory this is empty, so it cannot, no, because what he's saying is saying that he's trying to access a slot item, but he's finding something else, or is set container content. Where is that? I think it's the function I'm looking at the moment. Set container content. Yes, set container content. So entering here, we don't know exactly where, unfortunately, but we know that it's before this printout, okay? So it's before this printout because the max slot is printed out here. So 4 times, because you see that it's 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times is giving an error for the 4 slots that we are loading up, trying to access a dynamic cast SWD slot item. What is this? Add child target. So here I'm creating the slot, which is obviously a WD slot item, and I return its value. By the way, what else is this one? Inv array of WD slot item object reference. We are keeping a temporary array of the slots. Why? Because here I use it, but here when I did the deletion, I didn't. When I deleted the items, I did not update this thing. I don't understand exactly why we do this. I mean, why we are keeping the slots in this array and not just reading them from the UI. For sure there is a reason. There is an inv array of WD slot item object references, right? So we are trying to add inside of this thing. But are we clearing out that array at the beginning or not? Otherwise the array will become huge, will become like 300 millions. So let me just search the references to this thing, because I don't understand how this thing is actually working. I don't remember why we put it in. Okay, it's used only in this graph, and is used here when we are creating new slots, we are putting into this array. Then is used here when we are filling out the slots that we are populating it into this. We are getting the value from this array. Why we are doing like this? Because I think that the fear here was that the slots would not be in the right sequence or something. I don't understand why we use this thing. Why we cannot just do wrap box get children at element slot, because we assume that the element, the children of this can be messed up in positions. I don't think so. I think I don't understand why we are using this. But for sure, here that we are removing stuff, we are not removing it from the inventory. So the inventory is, I mean, this array is misaligned now compared to our removal. And this also proves the fact that it is happening only at the removal. So let me see the third case. The third case where we are using this is server says to add an item to the container. Add item, inventory array, get. So in that particular slot, we update the slot. It's not very clear why here we could not do wrapbox get children at. Why we need to keep this thing? The only reason is that the slot will not be sequential. But I mean, the slot is sequential for sure. I mean, slots are starting from 0 and going up. I mean, there is no reason why a slot should not be sequential. But anyway, so for now, let's remove the item from the array. But I don't understand why we have that array. I don't get it. I don't know. No idea. So when we remove the child at, we should also remove the child. Remove index. So I don't like this thing, so I think I will probably remove it. I mean, now I want to see that it works, but then I think I will just remove it and see what happens, because I don't want to keep something that is not needed. Okay, so now this array will be in sync with the content of the wrap box, right? And the reason that here when we are populating we are using this array. Now I think the simplest thing we can do then is to change the populate to use the wrap box and see if that works, and if that works we get rid of that array. But if I added it, there must be a reason. I don't remember if I added, maybe it was Cyborg, was the other guy, a long time ago. So this part was done very, very long time ago. It was done a bit at the beginning, so we were also, less knowledgeable about things, and we just wanted to have something working. So maybe there was not a lot of reasoning behind this. Just make it work, But what we know is that this array is not manipulated anywhere else in the code. It's manipulated only in this window, and is an array which is local to the container window, which, by the way, you can have only one at a time on screen, so it's pretty simple. So you cannot open multiple containers. If you open, yeah, that could be an issue though. I think in the old plan shift you could open multiple containers. There is something that may not be good, but okay. Because at the moment I'm just reinitializing the same window with the new data, which is very simple. But if you have to move stuff between one container and another, you basically you will have to go through your inventory. So you go container, your inventory container. So you do 2 transactions instead of 1. Okay, so I open this. I can move this stuff. I open this. I see all the items. I can move the stuff. Then I reopen the small one, which is deleting all of the, and I can move the stuff. And this one, by the way, is lot 3 and not 23, which is good. This one is lot 3. Okay. Then I open back this one. And now here is where we were having the bug. So moving anything here below was not working. Okay. Now it's working. Okay. This is pretty good. I think we fixed it. But there are two issues that I realized. I mean, the first issue is, let me try to, if I keep this open, you know, and I try to open the other one, it will just substitute in this window, which may be a bit annoying because actually you may want to have two containers open at the same time, right? It's possible the slot ID is not the same as the ID in the panel. You could add slot 50 at index 4. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, that inventory array seems to be created for a case like that, like the one that you were saying. But this should never happen because the slots are in sequence, you know. The slot is just the position inside a container, so it's just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how can the slot be in a different position, you know? So like if I have my grid of items, my grid, so it's not really grid, but okay. So if I have position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now, and I have yes, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, it's not really possible that number 3 will be here, because we are creating it in a sequence, right? So I mean, the number is the position of the slot, so it's always 1 to 1. What I want to say, it's always 1 to 1. That inventory array looks like it's created exactly for this case, you know, like if you have a different slot number, and so it's searching into the array, but so because anyway is getting the index of the, I mean, it's not a T map, you know, it's not a map, it's not an hash where you have an ID which is the name and the content. So it's an array, it's just a standard array with its position, and the position is the array index. So I don't know, I mean, I'm tempted, you know, to remove this when we are filling the slots. Put wrap box get children at. I mean, we can do it. It's pretty simple. So if we do wrap box get children at fuck, there is no get children at. Okay, then I understand why. I understand why we have this array then. No, so I get child at. There is get child at. Okay, there is get child at. Get child at is here. So if I do, let me just try to move this down a bit. So if I do instead of this, if I do get child at index, Well, yeah, we'll have to cast it to W slot because it doesn't know. Cast to W slot something because it doesn't know there is a slot item. This could be a bit annoying. But then this one I can connect it here, right? And the question is this gonna change anything, or is everything gonna work as before? I mean, my take is that this is gonna work exactly as before. It's going here and it's going here. Right? I think it will work exactly the same, but maybe not. So if maybe not. So if it's not working as the same, then okay. Then that array has the reason to leave. I mean, the only point, you know, is if inside the wrap box you would have multiple stuff like I don't know, an image for shading or whatever, and the slots, and so you would put into the array only the slots. Maybe this is how it was created at the beginning. Maybe inside of this thing there were some visual elements, you know, to I don't know, some background, some stuff, and so you couldn't just work with the children because the children would pick up also the visual elements. So that's probably, maybe it's just a safe, you know, just a safe way to keep a list only of the items that you really need to parse as slots, which makes sense. I'm not saying. I mean, it makes sense anyway. Right? The way only one container opens is the same as legacy. Okay. Wow. Swoosh. Thank you. That was so I don't have to do it different. So it's only one container window at a time, which is very limiting, but from the code perspective, it's so easier. It's so much easier, you know. So it's so much better to have only one window because you don't have to keep track of multiple ones, and so it's so much easier. So okay, good. So we're not losing functionality. The index of the array is more important than the index of the panel. Yeah, exactly. So if in that case, you know, if you have inside the panel you have bunch of stuff, then yes, the array will be the source of truth. You know, the real item. So let me see what happens now. I do exactly the same thing. I open this. I move one item. I close it. I open the weapons. It already looks a bit different. No, it looks the same. I move some items. I close it. I open the small one. Move some items. And I reopen the big one. Move some items. And it's working exactly the same, boys. So that inv array is totally useless. But anyway, I don't want to change it. I mean, I think we can keep it. I think it's a safe way to operate, right? I think it's a safe way to operate, and I think that we can keep it. Now I will obviously make some mistakes, and I will mess up something. So this one I can disconnect, and then there is this one. Okay. I think that is how it was, right? can test it again if we want, just to be paranoid about errors. But I think we fixed it. So the good news is that we did two fixes. One is let's restart everything. We did two fixes. One is related to this bug report, which I can now set to fixed pending release, and I can comment saying containers actually have also another bug, which is happening when you are opening containers of different sizes, sizes. The items will not move, the items will not show properly. Also, this bug is fixed pending release. Also, this additional bug. Okay, so let me say at the beginning, this bug is fixed pending release. Containers actually add also another bug happening when you're opening containers from different sizes. Okay, so yeah, this report was very good because it allowed us to work on the containers and allowed us to fix this thing, which is very nice. Very nice. I think it's time for GG. Where is my GG? Where is my GG? GG! Okay, so I think we fixed this. Okay. Now there can be other special cases that have to be tested. So if you are a tester, just go on, open containers, drop items on the ground, pick up items from the ground, move items between containers, split stacks. Like this one is a two split stack in one. Put it on the ground, pick it up again, put it back into the container. I don't know, try to mess up things, okay? Try to mess up, but I think at the moment it should be working fine. Pretty happy we fixed it. Wasn't there another item here? Or there was only these three? I don't know. Ah! It disappeared. Wasn't there another item here? Oh my god, this fourth slot is eating items. Is it because I did a change now, or it was already before my latest change? The fourth slot is eating items. Fuck, so it's not fixed? I really want it to be fixed. I had enough of that. I had enough of this inventory thing. The fourth slot is eating out items. Also, I want to see if we still get this cast issue. You know, they were saying WD cast. I mean, we should not get any WD cast errors. Yeah, when I reopen is okay. So the fourth slot is eating items. Oh my god. Now this one is eating items. Or not. I don't understand what is going on. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. What the fuck? Now this is gone. I don't have my ring anymore here. Please. Did I do something wrong here or what? Inventory, slot, target, get element slot. I mean, I can go back in the video and see if it was exactly like this, but I think it was like this. What is this thing going here, by the way? Some printouts. These are just some printouts. But fuck, something happened again. Yeah, because this one is occupied. It's not visible, but it's occupied. That's why. That's why it's fucking up like this. Because it's actually occupied by something. And it doesn't see it. Even if this is properly slot 3, but... What the hell? Okay. So we have another bug. Or anyway, or we introduced a new bug. So it seems that, for whatever reason, when you have the container open, everything works. But when you start to switch between containers, and so you delete stuff, inv array remove index. Do I remove only here? Yes, I remove only here. So loop body, so it's going here, removing child. Let me see if I get that cast error, because this cast error should not happen, and if it happens, means there is something wrong from the beginning. Yes. No, there is something else. There is the chat tab is not relevant to us. Yes, it's this one, right? No, it's not even this one. It is something else. It does it at the beginning. I mean, it does it immediately at the beginning. Accessed none, trying to read property. Dynamic cast SWD slot item. And it is before this. So it must be set container item, win container details. So it's not inside. So it's in this piece of code. It's in this piece. Should not be inside this function, because otherwise I think the stack would have told me that we were inside this function. So the only cast that we do is this one. This is the only cast that we do. and is saying that this value wrapbox get child at is actually returning null at the index the index starts from 0, so it's 0 based, yes, and last in, so but it does it 4 times, so we are saying if wrapbox children count is less than index. So what is this thing doing? Here I'm coming here, I'm getting the maximum number of slots. Yeah, so I enter with number 4, okay, and I do -1. So I go from 0 to 3, to fill out my 4 slots, okay. So this index is going from 0 to 3, very simply. Now I'm getting how many children do I have in my wrap box, and the answer will be 0 because I don't have. So if the answer is 0, I check if 0 is less than 3. No, I checked if 0 is less or equal to my index, which at the beginning would be 0. Okay, so I check if 0 is less or equal to 0. The answer will be true. So I will be creating then a new slot. So I will go straight into true, right? I will go into true. And this one is added to the inventory, is added as a child, and the slot is updated. Then I'm looping again, and I'm getting that now hopefully my children count is 1, and my for loop is 1, so I'm creating another one, So I should never go here in theory the first time. I should never go here. I should go here only the second time when so is this happening at the first start, at the first opening, or is happening after I delete the items? That is not very clear. Let me try again. So let me just open the small one and see if we get the error. It should not be, but do you think that the array, Gion, I don't know if you are still here. Do you think that the array is an array of pointers? I don't think so. I think the array is an array of objects. So when I am updating the array, so when I'm updating the WT slot item, I don't think the stuff in the array is changing. Understand? This array thing is, I think, is the problem that we are getting. Okay, so let me just open this one, do nothing else, and see if we get the error. Okay. Yes, we already got the error. So the first time, how can he do this? The first time, my window, my window should have 0 children, right? So should never go here, should never go to false. Should never go down here. I don't understand what is going on, boys. Why I'm going through this branch the first time I open the window? Let me try to open it a second time. The same. Yeah, the second time is not happening. We have another error, but it's not related to that. The second time is not happening. Do I have this for loop fucked up or what? Loop body goes here, branch. True goes here, false goes here. How can he go through this? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, it should not go. It should not go here. So create. No, this is only if it goes down here means there is only update only slot. Update only slot, and then this number. Okay. So this is what it's doing. So here is only updating. What if it goes here? Is if it goes up here is create slot okay, so it is creating the slot so why the first time is trying to update it? Maybe we received the message twice. That could be possible. Then maybe we receive that could be that for some reason maybe the server is sending me twice the content of the container. No, but in theory it should not happen. In theory it should not happen. Also because we would see all the other printouts, no? We would see all the rest of the printouts. So I would say no. But this thing of the array is bothering me because I'm updating. I have two things, right? I have my slots and I have this freaking array, which I don't know why was created, but anyway, we have this inv array, and now I have some parts of the code here which is actually doing the update, this part, you know, and is actually updating the slots, so updating the content of the slot, including the slot, the container ID, the name, the icon, and whatever. And is doing it on the array. Is this array a pointer? Is this array a pointer to WD slots, or this is array containing WD slots? This is what I don't understand. Because I have my array where I have these slots and I have my slots in my window. Is this pointing to that? The slots in the window, or is it duplication? Then I don't know. I mean, if it was a duplication, I think we would have seen way worse behavior though, because okay, I opened this one, okay? Let me see what it says. Create slot 0. Okay. In fact, you should create slot 0, which is here, right? So it's creating a WD slot widget item, which is getting added to, as a child of the wrap box, which is getting added to the inv array of WD slot item object reference. WD slot item object reference. Widget object reference. WD slot item object reference. Okay. So it goes to create. So it goes through this. It does this, this, and this, and here somewhere gives the error. I don't get it. Or this stack is not complete, so they're giving you only the first three functions and not the full list, and so it is actually inside update slots, which can be. So if that's the case, but even in that case, let's assume there is inside of this, okay? But even in this case, are we doing any cast? I mean, this code is huge, but are we doing any cast to WD slot item? I don't see it. There is no cast of WD slot item, so reading none. Trying to read property dynamic cast WD slot item. Inside this container detail, executing this graph, call stack, container detail, player controller, set container content. And the problem is that you don't know where is it. You don't know where this freaking exception is coming from. But I don't understand why we get this exception. Trying to read property node dynamic cast as WD slot item. So it must be dynamic cast. Now the only dynamic cast I see is this one. Cast to WD slot item. But this one is not called unless this line. I mean, really? Unless this line. I can split it. I mean, it's not a problem. I can split it. If that's the problem, I can split it. But I'm a bit surprised that that line is giving a null pointer to I can split it like this. So I can have it that one branch, because you know, when you are trying to use one variable in one branch, but actually the variable is coming from the other branch, is obviously not gonna work, right? So in this case, I had inside of this target two inputs, one which was the valid one coming from here, and one which was the potentially empty one which was coming from here. So it was giving this error due to that. So which I think it makes sense anyway. I mean, it kind of makes sense. So I can just split it into two. I mean, that's simple for me. And to ensure that when I'm going through this branch, I'm getting this value, and when I'm going through this branch, I'm getting this other value, right? Which I think is fine. So I think like this, potentially we should not get anymore that error, but I don't think that is compromising. I don't think that is compromising the other. I mean, is generating the other problem that we are having. The other problem that we are having is that the slot number 4 is eating items, is destroying items after we switch container sites, right? Okay, unfortunately, I have to go. So I will continue offline, but you may assume that I will fix it. Okay, so you may assume that this part will be fully fixed the next time we see each other. So what I will do, I will test better if we don't get any error here. I will test better that our inventory array is actually containing the proper items. I will check again why this slot number 4, and only that one, because there's only one slot that is getting fucked up, and why that is not working. And then I will call it, completed, right? And then I will call it completed. Unfortunately, I need to go. But we will see each other soon. I hope I can stream during next week. Okay? Goodbye, boys. See you next time.